What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at a title called Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. This is a much-awaited game, and more than likely is probably not there to qualify as an indie game. However, that being said, I stayed up late last night. I already knocked out a whole bunch of work on the game because I wanted to show it off, so here we are. If you don't know what Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader is, this is a tabletop game that uses the Dark Heresy 2.0 rule set at this point. I haven't really followed it in a while, though, so it may have its own rule set update at this point. But it's like Dungeons & Dragons, except for Warhammer 40k. That's pretty much it. And in the game, you take the role of a Rogue Trader, which is one of the most powerful people in the galaxy, bar none, as far as Warhammer 40k's Imperium is concerned. Like everyone else, they worship the Emperor, a guy that's sitting on a golden throne, half dead, that's able to manifest miracles all over the galaxy. Ow, that was a rough opening turn. I didn't expect to get splashed like that. They came out disrespectful. I'm over here trying to do an intro and explain like the entire tempo and like the candor and like the lore of the game. Like I'm trying to do my open thing right here. And then you're going to hit me for like 3/4 of my health bar. Okay, a half of my health bar in one turn. It's not very nice of you, man. I thought we were going to be friends. I thought we were going to be cool. See, now look what I have to do. See, now look at you guys. Look how foolish you look. You didn't know that I had a trump card up my sleeve. Yeah, you didn't know that Sister Argenta doesn't like to play like that. And unfortunately, like, it's too difficult for me to describe to you the full body of 40 years of lore work that goes into Warhammer 40k in order for you to kind of like understand the setting at a bare basic level. But in this game, you play a nobleman. That's really, most RPGs, you're going to be playing from a place of weakness. So you start out as like a level 1 worm that doesn't know anything about anything. You don't have any super secretive powers. You don't have any authority that exists inside the world that you're undertaking. You're just kind of like a nobody. In this universe, starkly not the case at all. In this universe, you are not just a nobleman, but one of the most powerful noblemen in the galaxy. A nobleman that probably controls upwards of like 100, 200, 300 planets. The rules do not apply to you because you've been given a letter of marque from the space government, by the way, that effectively allows you to operate outside the rules of engagement so long as you are serving the Emperor and his needs. And so you're a very unique, powerful person that nobody trifles with in this universe. You are someone scary. When you speak words, people duck. Period, because you have the capability to really, really, really mess up somebody's day. Let's go ahead. Oh, I can't give Argenta an extra turn again. That's what I wanted to do. All right, so from over here, we need to close the gap. There's so many more of them back behind this blockade over here. In the storyline with where we are right now, I've played the first 4 hours of the game. I've looked at every single note. I've read every single lore blurb. I've listened to every single dialogue along the way, and I'm pleased to say that if the first 4 hours are any indicator of the quality of this game, then this is a very high-quality RPG. The voice acting thus far has been some of the best I've heard in gaming, bar none. There was a very, very painful scene that was done by a character that had just lost a friend. And I don't think I've ever heard someone speak emotively like that in a video game before outside something like Firewatch, which I consider to be the very apex or apogee of voice acting to ever exist in gaming. Just a really, really fantastic title. And so the voice acting is good. The sound effects are straight out of the Warhammer 40k universe. All of the lore so far, as a lore purist and a lifelong Warhammer 40k fan, all of the lore seems to be very well researched, and in fact, they seem to understand and respect that lore. This, for all intents and purposes, from what I've played so far, may be the quintessential sort of like Warhammer 40k RPG that people are going to want to play. This may be the only one you ever get, and so it's easy for me in the first couple minutes of the video to recommend it. Yes, the price is a little bit high, but Owlcat Studios, as they did with the Pathfinder Nebulous, have done a really, really good job with this game world universe and also the graphics that exist here. Unfortunately, these Rebel Gunners are landing a lot of hits on me right now from the backfield. They're wiping out a lot of their own guys, too, along the way, but I don't know if we're going to be able to advance through this This is pretty withering fire, in all honesty, and they're getting us through cover and whatnot. I can probably move Argenta up to here to maybe get that guy. He's pretty beat up, though. We kind of need to get to him and heal him with a Medicae kit. And so let's go ahead and we'll move Argenta up to here. We'll kind of see what happens. 64% chance to there, 64% chance to there. Medicae kit, I think we need adjacency in order to use it.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Yeah, maybe put a shot that way, but I don't have a whole lot of hope that it's going to work out super great. Let's go ahead and bypass a turn. I'm going to need to move some people up, too. Like, we need to actually get into these backfield guys that are just, like, displacing and running and spamming burst fire every single turn. We need to close with them, and unfortunately, there's no, like, yellow move, double move in this game that you can do. You're basically confined to moving, like, 5 squares at a time while they're spraying us down, and so this is really, really unfortunate. I think if I move her over to here, I may be able... Can I shock through there? Not yet. Okay, so we're still going to need to move a little bit further. What about that right there? Don't have anything I can do with that either. I'm really, really worried about this guy over here. I don't think he's going to make it. Abelard is the steward to my noble house. And, like, I moved him forward because I figured he'd be in full cover and he'd be okay. And he doesn't seem to be getting any full cover bonus because he's getting tapped for 10 or 15 damage, like, every second shot. And so, unfortunate, really. I think that'll probably hit Abelard if I do that. Maybe? Let's find out. It did not hit Abelard, and we exploded the guy that was up his butt right now, which is great. You don't really want to have a guy up your butt in a combat-related Warhammer 40k situation. Let's move over to... So what I first need to do is I first need to give Argenta, I think, some kind of thing that she can do here. Abelard is unfortunately kind of in the way right here. Let's see if she accidentally hits that guy with burst fire. Every single shot missed, unfortunately. What I can maybe do here, though, is I don't know if that's going to bounce to where I think it's going to bounce. And I don't know if that's going to give me cover from these guys over here. But I kind of need to get a little bit of what's happening here pulled off of Abelard. So I'm going to go ahead and blast that guy with some bio lightning right there. My character, at the beginning of the game, actually, your character creation is pretty customizable. The game goes fairly in-depth as to what you want to do with both appearance, the backstory, and what you want your character to do. And so my character right now is a Psyker. Inside Warhammer 40k, I always play the role of a Psyker. If you don't know what a Psyker is, in universe, they're basically like a witch. They're a human being that has the power to see the immaterium, which is the psychic realm, the devil realm that exists behind our own realm, kind of like the underground. And they can pull and they can focus magic from that realm in order to accomplish the goals and the things that they want to do, basically. Let's go ahead and move over here. I'd like for this guy right here to, like, die. That would be just fantastic. I don't know if I'm going to get that satisfaction, though, without having to close the gap and take him out that way. If I open my inventory, is it going to cost me anything?
I'm not interested.
I don't know if I can use that. Yeah, I can't use it, and I can't swap out my equipment while I'm in combat either. So unfortunately, that's going to be a non-starter. So let's go ahead and pull Abelard over here. I'm almost positive you can re-equip stuff in Warhammer 40k Dark Heresy. He parried it, really, with an 83% chance to hit. We missed. All right, well, do Endure then. Endure gives him temporary HP and also boosts his defense up to, like, an absurd level. And now we kind of just have to hope that my character doesn't get blappered. Wow, 28 damage on that hit right there. What a big score. Oof, okay. That's not super good. There's not a whole lot of cover right there that we can dance in between. Like, I'm trying to advance on these guys, but they're really not making it a simple process, are they? Well, we don't really have too many options here. We've already lost a guy just trying to get off the landing pad of where we're at right now. I think... So I can use 3 AP to reload my gun. I'm going to do that. My gun is now reloaded. We're going to try to put a shot on that guy over there. We got him, so that's good. This guy is just bombing from the backfield from so far away, and I don't really think he's taking like an accuracy malice for it either or anything. It's a little bit strange that he's actually hitting those shots from that distance. Not a lot of cover to play with either. Trying to figure out a path to actually like get where I want to go without having to stutter step my way across the map like this, but I'm just not seeing it. Can't get him with that. He's too far back. That guy just vaporized his own character. Characters in this game, they don't really seem to care too much about friendly fire. Both the enemy and your allies seem to very much just kind of machine gun their own forces all the time. Abelard, keep on enduring and hold him down. Abelard got the parry, so that's good.
I'll revert to more conservative tactics.
Wow, he's like back there, dude. He's hitting those shots from that distance. Wow. I can't hit those shots from that distance.
I'll do it.
I mean, I'm going to keep busting rounds at him, hoping I accidentally hit him. Yeah, there you go. So that freed us up from that fire right there. I thought we had a really strong open in this fight, but that doesn't really matter because I think this kind of goes back to the source material of coming from a hyper-deadly tabletop game. I've had the pleasure of playing a lot of Dark Heresy in my life. I have Only War, but basically Dark Heresy, Only War, and Rogue Trader all kind of have very, very similar rules, and in a lot of ways they're kind of like Shadowrun, which is one of my favorite tabletop games, where it's very, very easily to like explosively die just due to like bad luck. You know what I mean? Like when there's a lot of fire coming at you, eventually you catch one, and in this game your characters are very much human. They are not like heroes or mutants or anything else. A bullet is a bullet. Let's go ahead, and we've got flak chest plates in here. We've got like a whole bunch of gear that we can play around with. We also, like, I just came out of the beginning portion of the game, so it's possible we may have like some upgrades or something here that we can get into position for some of our characters. I like the idea of the shotgun right there, definitely. Maybe give that to Abelard instead, since he's supposed to be like up front, like fighting with guys. When you die in combat, you're not dead permanently, so don't worry about that too much. When you die in combat, you just come back with like a wound. So I have like a critical wound right here, a crippled arm that makes it so that I have -20 to hit against anything we go up against. Not that big of a deal because my character doesn't fight guys in melee. He just spams bio lightning and gives buff to people. So like I'm kind of like a support character. Not really going to affect me altogether that much, but had we pulled that out on somebody vital like Abelard, I think we would have been in very, very real trouble. So we've got armored body gloves over here. All right, let's go into our inventory and see what we can do here in order to get people patched up. So I think the carapace is just a flat upgrade here. We should definitely take the carapace. For other characters, they've got the body glove. We'll throw the carapace on there because the carapace is just 5% more mitigation with pretty much the exact same chance to dodge or get out of the way of things. Maybe I'll start focusing on agility a little bit. It's been a long time since I've played tabletop for Dark Heresy, so I think I may just have a bad build too, which is why I'm getting starched so hard in the opening part of the game. I may have just kind of like forgotten all of the best practices for this tabletop game because I played it like twice, like 5 years ago, and never played it again. Let's see. We've got carapace on. Oh, he's got mesh. All right. Well, like, what do you got going on over here with the stub revolver? I don't hate the idea of throwing a las gun on him real fast that he can swap to. Might not be a bad play. We've got the mantle of heroism over here. Every heroic act increases your dodge by 20% until the end of combat. That would probably be something really, really good for him. And as you can see, whereas your carapace and whatnot that you put on your characters does not appear on them, it doesn't have like a physical graphic. At the same time, capes and supplementary things like helmets do show on your character. So, little bit of a mixed bag right there. I was kind of hoping your characters would look like what they were wearing, but doesn't seem to be the case. It seems like you have an appearance from the beginning of the game, and it gets slight modifications based on what you have equipped to like your eye slots or your weapon slots, or like, I don't know if the glove slots show. They do. The glove slots do show, so it seems like all of the accessories show, but what you look like at the beginning of the game is what you're going to look like at the end of the game, aside from like your gloves, your boots, your cape, stuff like that. The chest piece and all this stuff doesn't change. So whenever somebody gets knocked out, we get extra damage. I think she gets knocked out from time to time, so I'll put the gloves on her. Right now we have kind of like a bad Dark Heresy party too. Like we have 2 Psychers, which is just like, anybody that's played Dark Heresy will know. Having 2 Psychers is one of those things that's probably going to end in pain and sorrow for most campaigns. Let's go ahead and move on out. If there's anything else I can loot, you can hold down the tab to get to it. There's a blind madman over there. Dude, I swear to God, it says 4 to 6 on these las guns, but these guys were tapping me for like 12 or 13 damage. What's up with the madman? Is he okay? I'm going to save before I do this. My eyes, have you got them? Give them back to me, even just one, please. Yeah, there's going to be more fighting over there. I see more cover. So what are we doing on this planet right now? What we're doing on this planet at the moment is that we had a rebellion on our rogue trader ship as we were flying in between jobs on behalf of the Inquisition. The revolution was quelled and we won. The downside to that is, unfortunately, we ended up with our astrogator. Our navigator is dead, and also our head engine seer is dead. So we landed on this planet over here because there was a broadcast that was coming from the Navigators Guild that said that there was a navigator here that was waiting for a pickup. However, when we landed, of course, it's Warhammer 40k, so nothing ever goes easily. There is a full-on rebellion taking place on this planet, and so we must now fight our way through the front lines of all the rebel guard that have decided to unshackle themselves from the Imperium and its noble light, and they've decided to be the bad guys of the campaign and fall to the ruinous powers of darkness. And so we're going to do our best here. Folks, how about you don't come any closer and I don't shoot you? Gain true vision. Renounce the false sight. All will be revealed. The young shaggy-haired soldier is pale, nonetheless, as you approach, and he holsters his pistol, the hallmark of good discipline. He gives you a frightened but genuine smile. Thank you, my lord. You've arrived in the nick of time. I don't know what those babbling creeps wanted with me, but it definitely wasn't anything good. Are you unharmed, soldier? All thanks to you, my lord. The blind lunatics all over the city right now. These rebels, damn them to the void, go around maiming everyone they get their hands on and scorching their eyes. They leave the poor sods driven mad by pain to wander the streets babbling nonsense. Command doesn't want anybody to talk about it, but I've heard whispers that it's not just nonsense, it's actual real heresy, because listening to it scrambles your brain. It made one patrolman freeze in his tracks while a blind mob got a hold of him and carried him off from his post to who knows where. And who are you? Lucky Jaspar, sir, the governor's aide and personal Vox operator. I was dispatched to the starport on special orders. And what are you doing here on your own? Following Governor Medina's special instructions, namely, right, it's a secret assignment and I can't talk about it. I have a 100% chance with persuasion because I built my character to be like the face of the group who talks to everybody. Well, that would make me a saboteur and a traitor, wouldn't it? You're right. This is an emergency. He looks relieved. All right, so I'm looking for the interrogator of the Inquisition who arrived on this planet. Have you heard anyone matching that description? His face turns gray. I have, but I don't know where he is. I'm sorry. I don't like discussing matters of affairs with... That's fair. That's fair. Like, using the Inquisition's name out loud can end up with you lit on fire. They're kind of like the only people in the galaxy as powerful as rogue traders and like the navigators, so, you know. You know, I think I will punish you for disclosing classified information after all. So why did they send you to the starport? I'm supposed to deliver updated Vox codes and assess the situation. The planet's a mess at the moment. Rebels have found their way into the VoxNet and are eavesdropping. This made proper communication impossible. The hallowed electrodynamic Canobium had set out a distress call before it went dark. And who even knows what's happening in the system? There's been a riot on Ricati Philia, the prison planetoid. Urak V Station is silent, although the navigators have always been a reclusive bunch. I was hoping I'd be lucky enough to find a pilot or captain here that could give me an update, but that's hardly a possibility. The rebels are blasting anything that tries to land out of the sky with their damn cannon. All right, he stops talking a little too abruptly. There's something else you're hiding, aren't you? He looks away. It's not classified, it's just personal. There's another reason I'm here. My betrothed is missing, Raquel Vicari, the esteemed Yvain Winterscale's personal pilot. When the riot reports came from Ricati Philia, Lord Yvain headed there personally. Then this rebellion started down here and we lost communication. Nobody knows how they're doing up there. You know what I'm afraid of? That they're going to come back and the rebel scumbags are going to shoot them out of the sky. I wanted to find a place that's high up and set the Voxcaster there and send them a transmission, but the sky is closed off. Don't land, but I didn't make it in time and the blind dogs chased after me as I was running. I tripped and broke the caster. I worry for her. She's an excellent pilot, but I worry. All right. That's why all members of a void ship clan have the same employment. No matter how devoted a servant of the Emperor to their duty, there's always the danger that family ties may disrupt regulations and order. Pray not for her survival, but for an honorable death should it come to that. Forgive me, my lord, but I wish to see her alive again. She's everything to me. I have no more questions. I must take my leave. You're right, we shouldn't stay here. We may run into rebels. I'll go find a safe place to watch the sky for landing shuttles. Emperor protect you, my lord. Is there any loot up here?
Terror. Guide our way.
All over the place there are little lore checks, and there are little areas where if you have the proper skills, you can interact with them, and it will give you extra loot and extra goodies. I've got a feeling we're walking into getting jumped over here, so let me re-equip real fast. While I'm here, I've only got the one med kit left. I don't know how to use Medicae on my character, though, so I'll probably give it to him since he's like the main Medicae guy. Like, he seems to be kind of like our field medic. I don't know if I have any further stuff inside my cargo that maybe I could pull out to help. We haven't really hit a shop or anything yet either where I could buy more Medicae, and I've been going through it pretty rapidly. We can't leave and go back to our void ship, unfortunately, because there's an orbital cannon that's blocking off the skies. That's how we got here. We got shot down trying to do the landing protocols. Yeah, enemies over here. Let's see how this goes. I'm always, like, nervous about combat in this game because every combat that I've seen so far has basically been like a dogfight for survival. This game has a lot in common with the Dark Heresy tabletop game, in that, like, one-taps happen all the time. Like, your characters die basically instantly a lot of the time. And so the randomness that exists inside Dark Heresy is definitely present inside of this game. The only difference is, like, when we used to play Dark Heresy, we used to make, like, 5 characters, and then we would just run it for an evening, and, like, 9 times out of 10, you would lose all 5 characters, because, like, Dark Heresy is just that difficult. Like, it's a gnarly tabletop game. It's a meat grinder. I guess we want Abelard maybe, like, right there. Like, we need somebody to fight all these guys in melee, but I just don't know what I want to do here. I suppose we'll land on this side. I mean, I don't want her out front either, so I really don't know what our realistic option is here. This cover is bad. Really, really bad. It's too clustered. It leaves us open to AoEs and grenades. You don't have an opportunity to wait on your turn, by the way. The turn order is kind of like the turn order. For whatever reason, you're not allowed to delay your turn in this game. And I'm not sure exactly why. I think it's a decent idea to get this guy right here.
At your beck and call.
I feel like eliminating everybody that kind of has, like, a ranged attack is a good idea. I don't know if this is a good idea, but I'm going to do it. We'll charge him over to here. We'll put him in endurance mode, because that gives him a fat boost to his defense. And I think we just kind of have to hope that he soaks it, man. Like, I think that's just the way it kind of goes. I don't know where I want her, but they do have a lot of melee on this side. So, like, maybe get her over here. Assume that Abelard is going to hold down his angles.
Doubt is for the weak.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. That was a good opener for a random AoE that I threw into the middle of a crowd. Do it again. The more of them you kill, the better off we are, because we're almost, like, universally outnumbered in this game. Let's go ahead. We've got grants momentum equal to 6 once per combat. So momentum is kind of like a limit break. If you can get it up to this level right here, your characters can do these things called desperate feats or heroic acts. Desperate feats and heroic acts are basically what they sound like. They're like a gambit for you to do an insane amount of damage in one turn and kill, like, everything that has a pulse. That's just the way it goes. Go ahead and zap that. Oh, no line of sight, huh? Okay. I need to get her line of sight. Over to here. See if that works for you. If it does, that's the shot I need. Well done. That's why you bring a Psyker with the Bio Lightning right there, dude. That's why you brings this the Psyker. Over here, we're going to add 2 exploits to this guy. I don't know how many exploits he has right now. So it looks like he has Raging Woe. Oh, wow, he hits really hard. Okay. But it should go away at the beginning of his next turn, I think, because we just killed off a whole bunch of his homies. So what we want to do here is we want to put exploits on him. He has 3 exploits. Now we detonate the exploits. That's going to lower his chance to dodge and his armor by 12%. You're going to want to do that. There are some enemies in this game that have a lot of dodge, parry, armor, that kind of stuff. I'm going to put Forewarning on him. That's going to give him a way higher chance to dodge and avoid the enemy. And I can't express to you enough, in this game, you need to do these things, all right? You need to do them. Why is my Bio Lightning so weak compared to hers? She must have Psi rating 1 or something, and I have like Psi rating 0 would be my guess. That's got to be what's doing it. So what I would suggest then, we still have a couple guys in the back, and we need to deal with them. And I don't know how I want to do that, but if I can get over to here, I could give him a bonus turn, I think. Yeah, dude, I've got like, oh, never mind. He must have like more armor or something. That's what it is. He's heavily armored. All right, let's give Abelard a free turn. Abelard just got his free turn. He has a 93% chance to hit this guy. Not bad. Not bad at all. Do I have anything that'll boost that up? I mean, technically, I could go over to there and fight the Bruiser, I guess. I'll lose my connection to the fight, though, but it says I get a free attack on everybody.
It will be done.
I guess I didn't get my attack. Warrior moves in a straight line and launches a melee attack against any that are in his path. Like, in the direct path? Uh-oh. Well, then I just messed up my entire strategy for no reason. Abelard, sorry about that, man. You're in trouble now. Go ahead and smack that guy. If we can at least get a little damage off on him, at least we did something with the freebie turn. At least this isn't like his mainline turn. At least this is like a freebie turn.
Just a minor setback.
Oh, it hopped. I didn't see the damage preview was so tiny that I didn't recognize that it was going to hop. Okay, lots of good misses right there. Still worried about the sniper in the backfield, though. Definitely worried about him. Okay. Could have been worse. We find ourselves in an interesting situation. We're a little bit isolated. Technically, I could spray these guys down with revolver fire, but he doesn't have a great chance to hit. How many bullets does that fire? 2 shots. 2 shots at a 39 doesn't feel worth it to me. Especially when I think we could, like, giblet this guy right here with a 94. I was going to say, with a crit right there, that's good, because that brute right there is a problem.
I'd rather not.
And now that we've got him cleared...
That's not the Seneschal's job.
What about him? Can you do him? There you go. Oh, he parried it, dude. Oh, no. Dark Heresy. I can't believe you've done this to me. Who's up next? Argenta? Argenta is kind of holding down this entire side by herself. And I sort of need her to keep doing that. I guess I could run Revel and Slaughter.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
That's going to increase her hit chance by 10%, and it's also going to increase her crit chance by a whole bunch. And then we can just keep mag dumping along this front. Like, I think it's what I have to do. Oh, that didn't hurt him at all. That's unfortunate. I was hoping that would hurt him. That did not hurt him in the slightest. We're going to have to displace then. We'll do run and gun over on this side. I don't know if that guy can get to us from over there, but we're going to pull her over to here. She's going to be, like, kind of flanked by that guy on her side. What does her limit break do? She gains the ability to make a number of attacks equal to weapon's rate of fire using the weapon's attack that normally costs the least AP. These do not spend AP. I may have something better on somebody else. I don't know. Get that guy. Oh, you missed. Come on. It's okay. Abelard's going to hold, dude. He's not going to fold. He's going to hold like gold, and it's going to be amazing. Hit that guy. Get him. Okay, Psychic Scream worked out pretty well. I like it. I like it. What does she do? Dismantling attack. Second weapon. You inflict an exploit on all enemies in combat. Makes a free attack against a target that always hits. Okay, for now we're going to wait. What does mine do, by the way? Finest Hour. You grant an extra turn with full AP and MP. There is no attack limit on this turn. Abelard, let him have it.
I will do my kind of care of
One down. Who's next?
Indeed. One.
Two down. Who's next?
At your back and forth.
No, dude. Come on. Oh, okay. All right. It's fine. It's fine. I didn't want that to work out in a satisfactory way anyways. You know what? I'm going to be a huge dick right here, and I'm going to leave my character exposed just to give you another bonus turn, because I feel like he deserves the win right here, all right? If you can get there, get there. Yeah, for sure. Locking down the sniper is huge. There we go. All right, sniper's locked down. His HP is low. We've also given the commander somebody else to maybe focus on. I like it. I like it. We don't really have the range to do that for right now, so I'm just going to chill where I'm at. Hope I don't get shot in the face. Argenta got shot in the face. These things tend to happen in a complicated battlefield. Attack of opportunity. Got him. Very nice. I need to lock down this commander over here so that he can't shoot anymore. He hurts too much.
At your back and call.
Good job, Abelard. I swear to God, dude. Abelard is such a major part of my entire strategy in this game. Like, without him, I'm just, like, useless. Like, he's the only character I have that can actually face the full brunt of, like, frontal contact with the enemy. Everybody else can't do it. That guy wants Argenta real, real bad. Argenta, pull back over to here.
In battle. Doubt is for the weak.
Okay, good shot right there. He's a bruiser, though. If he closes the gap with Argenta, it's going to really, really hurt. Like, we definitely don't want that at all. Hey, you exploded his head. Nice. Our Perils of the Warp isn't that high either, which is really nice. All right, end the turn. Move the Psyker up. Let's go, go, go. Can't really do too much from right here. Technically, I can give him Voice of Command, which increases his stats by 15. Good. That'll give him a much better chance to hit against this guy on the next turn. He's going to try to run because he's a shooter. Shooters in this game always seem to run when they get into first person, when they get into base contact. Now he's got nowhere to go, and he trapped himself, though, so he's pretty much hosed from here. Oof, and that's another combat resolve. Like I said, real tough combat in this game, in my opinion. Like, I think some people will like that, some people will not like that. For me, it kind of goes back and forth. Like, it's not quite giving me the Warhammer 40k power fantasy that I wanted, but at the same time, it is a very satisfying game to win in because you can tell the game's not pulling any punches, even on normal difficulty. So we definitely want the Medicae. We need way more Medicae. We've got a Melt-A-Charge right there for knocking down a door. We've got some cigarettes. We've got some detox, and it looks like we've got carbon fiber plates. You travel in between planets in this game. You have goods, and you trade them to people. This is actually a game where you can move in between planets. After 4 hours, I haven't got to do it yet. They've just let me basically... The first 4 hours of me playing this game was basically the opening storyline, Chapter 1, tutorial, beginning exposition of the game about how you became a rogue trader, and now this is our first mission on behalf of the Inquisition after that chunky first boarding. I had trouble winning the first area. I had trouble with some of the fights. I think because I made a Psyker, in all honesty. Having double Psykers, as I mentioned earlier, in Dark Heresy is really bad. You don't want to do that. And so I think if I had made a melee character, or if I had made a character that was all about sniping or something, I'd be doing a lot better right now. I think that's where the challenge is coming from. But these guys are late bloomers, so if you can get if you're in this universe and you can actively get a Psyker leveled up to like decent Psi levels, he can basically level entire battlefields by himself. So he's kind of like a wizard. And I'm kind of like in early D&D right now, with 2 level 1 wizards in my 4-man party. We squishy, and we can die very, very easily to a small party of kobolds. Consider it like, oh my god, okay.
Never doubt it.
All right, so we got that done right there. What's this way? The insurgents walked in a line, or walked in a crowd right across the mine barriers, seemingly oblivious to the fear of death.
Such is the Emperor's will.
Change is coming. The edge is nigh.
The blinded ones are harmless. No sense in shooting them and drawing attention.
Fire on the nearest target! Don't kill the tech freak! We need to take him alive!
Find it and let their enemies free.
Hold back!
May knowledge be thy fate. Let the cycle be discontinued.
The man dressed in crimson should not have survived an explosion like that, but he is alive, and you hear the wheezing of his respirator that covers his face.
Not another step. Flee, for I am death.
By the throne! What is that servant of the Omnissiah made of? Adamantine? Ugh, blast it.
I am rogue traitor Splattercat von Valancius, and I mean you no ill.
I identify you as a member of a high stratum belonging to Rogue Trader House von Valancius. I am detecting no need for confrontation. The convoy received an order to meet you. It is no longer functional. Therefore, I propose that we continue to advance to the rendezvous point with the governor's soldiers. I came here to carry out a sacred mission. My mentor, Archmagus Amonat, summoned me, and I hastened to answer his call. But the rabble's unrest prevented our meeting, and I was on my way to Governor Medina to determine my mentor's current location. My escort was ordered by their commander to discontinue their movement and await to be merged with your group. Then, due to their incompetence, they let themselves be killed. It was an unacceptable complication to my task.
Well, if you want to join me, I could definitely use some extra hands. I need a new engine seer as well. So,
Mutually beneficial cooperation.
this feels like a situation that's going to work out for everybody, assuming that, I mean, if he's directly under an Archmagos, he's a pretty decorated member of the Mechanicus, which means he'll probably serve as an engine seer. He'll probably be all right. I don't see anything that looks like cover around here, so I don't think we have any combats coming. But my general thoughts about the game right now are that this is exemplary work in RPGs. Like, what a year for RPG fans, dude. You have Colony Ship, you have Baldur's Gate 3, you have this game. What a year for CRPGs. And this one seems to be right down that alley. This appears to be much more difficult than a lot of the other offerings that are out there. I would actually say that this is kind of more like Warhammer 40k Colony Ship or Age of Decadence than anything else. That may be due to the fact that I have a suboptimal party. I can't really say. But that having been said, the challenge has been nice. I'm used to games pulling punches and whatnot as you go through. The lore seems to be on point. The voice acting seems to be good. The storyline is unfolding nicely. All the assets and the lighting and the characters all look really, really well. I'm inclined, after my first 4 to 5 hours of playing the game, to say that I think that Owlcat has done it again and kind of knocked it out of the park. It seems like they are iteratively learning from their experience developing the Pathfinder games and the weaknesses that existed in those. Not that there were a ton of them. Those are also really good games. But it seems like they learn from the things that go wrong. It seems like this game is definitely channeling that Rogue Trader Dark Heresy energy where anybody can die at any time, you know, through full cover. There is a randomness to this game that exists in the tabletop game, and so it feels loyal to that. Some people are going to like it, some people are going to hate it. For me, it just feels like Rogue Trader. Like, if you've ever played those games, you know how deadly it is. It's not D&D. You don't get 950 chances to resurrect your character. When you're dead, and you make a new character. It's OG like AD&D. And so anyways, I'm very impressed with the game so far from what I've played. The storyline has been good. The dialogue has been great. The combat has been intense and has made my hands sweat a little bit as I'm trying to make decisions as enemies land random shots that damn near one-shot my characters. I would, honestly, the fact that there's like 2 or 3 more difficulties on top of this are actually kind of terrifying. So with the way the level up structure works in this game, this is actually Dark Heresy. This is the player sheet for Dark Heresy or for Rogue Trader or for something like something like Only War, I think uses the same rule set. I've never played Only War, but I'd like to. When you level up, the customization is largely these outer nodes right here. So basically, you pick sort of like a job that you have in the universe, and that job levels up, and you get the thing on the inner ring. These are usually just choices as to what stats you want to increase. That's been my experience so far, is that you kind of just get to choose what you want to increase as far as a stat goes, or it'll give you like a talent or something. But the outer ring over here is where the customization happens. And in fact, if you've never played the tabletop game, that's where it gets complex, because this game actually has very, very detailed, unvideo gamey descriptions of everything in the game. So like when you have an ability, for example, it will straight up, like I'm trying to find one here that actually invokes everything. But basically, this game functions identical to tabletop. It's got some things that have been gamified to make it flow faster, but in general, it's like, yeah, you've got to take your toughness, divide it by 2, then add it to your weapon skill, and then from there, you minus the enemy's agility. Like, it's actually doing all the tabletop calculations as it goes along. He's got good tech use. Yeah. I've got, like, other people that are good at tech use already, though, don't I? How does his tech use compare to everybody else in the detachment? Oh, I guess he is the best tech user here. I don't particularly want to, like, work on that, though. I kind of want him to have higher weapon skill. What's that plus 15 coming from right there? His Omniscient Axe is actually what's providing that. Okay. He also has a weapon skill advancement that surrounds that. Let's give him a little more weapon skill. It seems like he's kind of built to, like, stab people in the face. I don't know if that's 100% true. It looks like he maybe doesn't have the toughness to support it, though. Toughness is your HP stat. He does kind of have low HP for the weapon skill that he's boasting right there. That kind of worries me. We'll go weapon skill for right now, I guess. And then for the outer ring, this is where this is going to get complicated. This is where you're going to start looking at things over here, and you're going to have to read all these. Like, these are all customizations you can give to this character in this slot based on their stats, and it's a lot of reading. Level ups take a long time in this game because they are very, very customizable. My point is, well done to Alcat. You did a great job with the game. I want to remind the audience that I've only played the first 4 to 5 hours of the game so far. This is a first impressions video, a preview, not a formalized review. I have no pedigree to do that kind of work. I have no education to do that kind of work. But from what I've seen so far, this game is yet another fantastic CRPG that's been thrown on top of a pile of an already really good RPG year. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so that you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we were playing a little bit of Rogue Trader. Tomorrow we'll be playing something else. Thank you for hanging out with me, and that's about all I've got. Bye, folks.